Hello everyone, I'm Fracasso. Today I'm bringing you an anime movie that is very much discussed. Idol Deadline is just a small celebrity. It's just a small artist with a relationship. The same person as last year. Yes, I've seen Nervousness Alone. Guard and the Robot Master. You stay and let Na quit the idol to cross the river and become a TV actor. Although this protruding decision was opposed by the assistant to stay in the United States, he was kind, paralyzed, and didn't want to cause trouble for the company. He accepted the transformation and set up the long scene at the beginning of the movie. Why did the teachers announce this news? Ma's spokesman has brought a lot of blows to the fans. This is the most touching thing. Did those old girls get mad at Xiao Feng? That one connected thought ended the last performance and was greeted with a smile by the fans as before. Was one of the fans handed a letter and mentioned that the expo had been wrapped up all the time? This sentence of living in Weima's wooden house successfully attracted Weima's attention and curiosity. When I got home, I was buried and returned to Meilan. I got angry and received a good, but unexpected cordless phone call from my mother and a fax machine at home. Speaking of my aunt, is my aunt afraid of that girl? Suddenly I feel unpleasant to the eye. Can I try myself in the dark and anxiety is yet to wait? Why play a letter from a fan? A small bomb blew up the password, and the manager's manager fell into chaos in an instant. A threatening letter from the Quality Bureau was brought to Bread Snake. On the other hand, the assistant who stayed in the United States was the master of the Cat's Claw, and has been silently beside King Y. With the help of the labor union, why did he finally find the website that he has always been curious about? It is the meaning of the room. On a non-stop website, it carefully records daily life in the future in the first person. Whether it is the first part of the three-body problem, whether it sells the left foot or the right foot, or even what brand of milk you go to the supermarket to buy, it is accurately written. This site gives you a deep shock. The biggest sister plays one of the main characters in the TV series of Gaoshin Yanshai, but its appearance rate is poor. I hope that Liu Meng, who has completely abandoned his idol image and fan halo, is firmly opposed to the posture. I didn't expect my sister. I agreed to why I leaned tiredly against the window sister on the subway when I went home back then. The lobster lyrics appear on the table. Are you stunned when you object to being raped? On the day of the filming, why did you scream desperately for help in front of the camera? And the performance was extremely punctual. The eyes were gradually sluggish. Rumi in the audience couldn't help shedding tears. She got up and left without showing in front of her manager after the filming was over. As usual, when I got home, I found that all the fish I raised were dead. I couldn't help crying. Tao Tao was crying. Weigo vented. At this time, why did the idol appear again? He said that he was the real reason and then escaped from the room regardless of the first questioning. The eyes of the hour made the other side numb, and the other side was not stained. It was continuously updated. It said that it was shot involuntarily. After all, the content of fans asking for help Weimer, the one I can always see recently. His world is reversed back and forth in hallucinations, dreams, and reality. The screenwriter of the screenwriter who took a large-scale photo shoot was killed. Weima Jiner, who woke up coldly, found the clothes written by Zhen in her closet. Who is the murderer in Weimer's memory? Similar scenes, people can't tell the difference between reality and dreams. After hurting myself again, I asked if this was true love. She even looked at Weima's diary and said with emotion the reason why I went yesterday. Why did the film TV series finally usher in some in-car rape scenes, making it one of the most important characters in the entire layout, and everyone in the outside world and the crew gave you her? Really, her eyes waited until everything was over, and the comforting mother was walking alone in the corridor of the studio, and the fan who had been following the horse before suddenly appeared and grabbed the password. Aren't you the real beauty? Are you really tired? Fortunately, Martha took out a hammer from his left hand and called the younger brother directly. Our party was terrified to meet the Lumen who had been waiting for him. That was Liu Mei telling everything that had just happened when they returned to the scene of the incident. I don't even think it's Weimer's own hallucination. Then why is his clothes really torn? At this moment, the two lines of poetry on the other side of the building are a moment of a fanboy, just Lume art. After the group, he stayed in the United States and told Weima, who was in a trance, to go home and return to his senses. Weimer found that the place where he was still was the same as the arrangement at home. Is the fish still alive in the unit? When I opened the curtains, I found that the scenery outside the window was completely different from that of her home. The one who bought it paid tribute to everything in front of me. A man in a red short skirt suddenly appeared at the door. Is there another one? He found that what was reflected in the mirror was actually his assistant Lume. He spoke in Wyma's tone, imitating Wyma's singing on the stage, and then suddenly pulled out a sharp all girl. Communication password: coming back to work hard. Staying in the United States will let you catch up. Although in the deposit, we see the virtual girl easily, but it is reflected in the mirror. This is Lumu out of breath, to stay in the United States on the weekend and after grabbing the password. When it comes to this time, I don't need two. Why are the dirty counterfeiters in a hurry, grabbing Liu's wig and tearing it off? Yuki, who wanted to lose weight, was accidentally assassinated and stayed in the United States to wear it with difficulty after putting on the wig. He walked to the middle of the road and opened his arms to the oncoming truck, as if he was standing under the spotlight on the stage. The TV series at the end of the story was a hit, and Evergrande got the mental hospital where the student was imprisoned in the United States. The truth of staying in the United States is that Liume, who was once an idol, gave up her dream to become an agent assistant for some reason. He pinned all his dreams on Wyma. He fantasized that he was the future and created Wyma. Make a real password, and why the University of Science and Technology in that virtual online world decides to transform and do it. I can't accept my spiritual sustenance, and I can't accept my spiritual sustenance. I throw a few sails and even try the brains plot setting and seal it. The previous scene. Another scene at the end of the film, staying in the United States and living in my own fantasy forever. Is it really exhausting to really feel the confusion in my heart? The hallucinations from beginning to end are just lies generated by self-doubt and denial because of this love. The director of Eating Pancakes did not add any details to the plot, such as the unit waking up from a dream again and again. The room is actually more eggs than eggs, which undoubtedly expresses that Maylan is a piece. The chaotic first anniversary is indeed living day by day. It is not a dream of Unma. The biggest topic in the province is what identity the murderer is. The fan who is instigated by staying in the United States is Pink Liu, or is it possible to take his own facts? The biggest one is undoubtedly that when she stayed in the United States, she may have killed her fanboy brother in order to keep her mouth shut, and then decide why there is still pornography in the next TV series. It hurts the manager too, but the famous director who lives here has left us one. Incomparable why the takeaway service with the writing appeared when I was caught by the door, when I thought it might be Liu who could be free to take the room and secretly put it on the back. Is the house the next unit? The chain was unlocked from the inside, and the sentence blurted out after receiving the news that he was instantly killed for waking up from the dream. Mr. Murano was really killed. The most attractive part of this film is that the thoughts after watching are different when passing by. All of them can discover their own views and ideas from different angles. What is the real plot and which is the truth? Lies maybe I played different things back then. That's the answer. This is today's organization. My city will see you in the next issue in August. Bye-bye. Okay.